1811 4000। यही कंज्यूमर हेल्पलाइन।
जागो ग्राहक जागो।
India 360, broadcasting live from the CNN-IBN headquarters in New Delhi.
In a major raid early Thursday morning, the Maharashtra Food and Drug Administration cracked down on a milk adulteration racket involving leading milk dairies. The FDA found that a huge quantity of milk packets were being offloaded on the Western Express Highway by milk distribution vendors. For Mr.Bijon Jacob and Mr.Bijon Mishra with that report.
15 साल से उसका दूध लेता है महानंदा का, 15 साल हो गया लेते हैं, लेकिन फर्क जरूर है।
फर्क आता है, खाली पानी जैसा लगता है, दूध मीठा रहता है, वैसा मीठा नहीं रहता।
Well, you're right. Your branded milk is no better than your Tabela milk, and it is being adulterated rampantly. We'll show you how. These trucks have been intercepted on the Western Express Highway near after the Maharashtra Food and Drug Administration found crates of milk being offloaded at unlicensed sites. These milk packets were all set to reach nearby slums and adulterated with water for distribution in the city. Over 10,000 milk packets of all leading dairies like Mahananda, Amul and Gokul were seized by the FDA before it could be adulterated.
ये जो कंपनियां हैं वो रास्ते पे ये दूध डालते हैं और ये अनौत का है। यहाँ पे आप देखें तो यहाँ पे ब्रिज है, ब्रिज के नीचे नालियां है। तो ऐसे जगह पे ये लोग रात के समय में 2 या 3 बजे के समय में माल डाल के चले जाते हैं और जो आज झोपड़पट्टी के लोग होते हैं यहाँ से उठा के लेके जाके वहाँ पे मिलावट करके और आजू बाजू के घरों में बेचते हैं।
But leading milk dairies deny involvement in the adulteration racket. They say they have no role to play once the milk leaves their premises.
Whatever milk quality, that has to be ascertained at the factory level or dairy level. But once it leaves our dairy, there we don't have any control as such.
The FDA has detained 5 men, including the street vendor, driver and the suppliers of the dairies. FDA is also contemplating action against the dairies for offloading milk crates at unlicensed locations. With Mr.Bijon Mishra and Deborah Gray, Mumbai, Mr.Bijon Jacob.
That then brings us to the question we're asking tonight on India 360. Are we doing enough to check food adulteration? And joining us on that debate, Dr. Rajendra Kokane. He's the Professor of Dairy Science from the Veterinary College. He joins us from our Mumbai studio. Also joining us, Mr. Mohan Yedurkar, General Manager of the Varna Cooperatives. And joining us here in the studio, Mr.Bijon Mishra. He's a leading consumer activist. He's also the Executive Director of Consumer Voice. I'll first go to Dr. Rajendra Kokane. Sir, you're going to give us a brief demonstration of how milk is actually adulterated, packaged milk.
Sure. When we talk about the pouch milk or the adulterated milk, it's I think a duty of a housewife to check whether it is genuine or tempered. None of the branded companies will take a risk in adulterating or tempering their pouch to lose their repute. So when the milk pouch comes at home, what you have to look, basically a housewife, that just give a gentle pressure over on this pouch and see that it's a soft like a pillow. It should not be very loose. That it indicates that it's a genuine pouch. A genuine pouch has 3 joints. One is a vertical joint. You have to see that if this joint is not there in any pouch, straightway consider this a tempered or duplicate pouch. These 2 joints, what you call as the horizontal joints, they are always very even joints. If there is any unevenness in the joints or the corners, you can say that this pouch is tempered. Earlier the tempering was, with uneducated people, I can say. Still it is in a slum areas in Mumbai.
Right. How
it is adulterated with the technology, again, there is an advancement in the adulteration of milk. You will be surprised how it is adulterated. It's better than, I will just demonstrate over here.
Right.
How this milk pouch is adulterated. It is just a syringe gang. Earlier, a milk pouch was cut over here and then it was resealed again. So it was very easy to detect an uneven joint. But that uneven joint, when it is noticed, now the people are educated and now they do a very simple technique of adulteration in slum areas in Mumbai and around. What they will do, they will just insert a syringe and they will take out amount of milk like this. They will leave the needle over there. They will take out milk around 15 to 20 ml from each pouch, and then the water, whatever quality of water, which will be taken into a syringe and it will be refilled into a pouch
Right.
and it is sealed.
Right, Dr.
It is
Kokne?
sealed.
Right, that's really amazing. There's some really invaluable tips coming in from Dr. Kokne there on how to conduct those checks really at the user level. But I must now put my question to Mr. Yedurkar. What about at the level of supply itself? Dr. Yedurkar, about those rates that happen in Mumbai, which reveal this sort of cartel organized milk adulteration that happens in Mumbai. Many of those milk suppliers are saying we can't do anything once it's left the place of produce, and really it's the distributors who are to blame. Aren't you absolving yourself of the responsibility, sir?
Yeah, we are responsible for some extent. Yeah, somebody who is saying that milk once leaves our premises, our responsibility ends. That is not the case. What we in Varna do, we have a constant check on our distributors, retailers, authorized dealers, and we constantly have a feedback from the consumers. It is now compulsory by the Food and Drug Administration to print your helpline number on the milk pouch. So if they have if they receive any type of adulteration or they have any idea of adulteration, they can contact us. For Varna or the government dairy or Mahanand, they can contact and they can have the corrective action. What in Varna we do is, if a complaint is lodged by the complainant, by the consumer, we immediately approach the consumer. We take the sample of the milk, we test it in the laboratory.
All right.
And if we found it that it is adulterated, then we request the consumer that they have to tell us what is the source, from which source they are getting the milk.
All
then
right.
we have our promotion campaign. Madam, I want to add something what Dr. Kokne said.
Right, sir.
Now, as the technology advanced, they cutting the pouch at one side and injecting the water is not only the way, but the police in Mumbai...
I'll have to interrupt you there, Mr. Yedurkar, but just a quick comment from you. Do you have an effective mechanism? You're asking the user to tell them what is their source of milk. Do you have an effective mechanism to track down these distributors who are indulging in adulteration?
Madam, no, we don't have. I am in this business for 31 years and I don't find any of Varna's distributor doing or helping the adulteration, helping the people who are adulterating the milk.
All right.
I don't know about others. We have a foolproof system and we sell it in Navi Mumbai. Varna is sold, total sale of Varna is in Mumbai, but 45% of the total sale is in Navi Mumbai, where we operate through the company shops exclusively for Varna milk.
All right, Mr. Yedurkar, all right. So you're saying that your cooperative takes a possible step there to ensure that adulteration doesn't take place through your distribution channels. Mr. Mishra, is there an effective mechanism really to deal with this sort of adulteration?
In today's context, there is no effective mechanism at all. It's absolutely zero in terms of food safety and ensuring that quality is assured to the consumer, which has been promised. So what we are looking at, and we have constantly telling the law enforcers, is that please try to strengthen this mechanism. Now you just heard, you know, people, the producers are saying that, you know, the housewife should be doing this to check, and they should be ensuring that, you know, it is not tampered and they are getting perfect milk in the pouch.
Why should it even come to that? Is what
I mean, why should a housewife be made to spend time to do all this? It is the job of the food inspectors and the law enforcers to do this in a regular manner.
All right, that's a point well taken, but do we have enough laws to deal with this sort of adulteration, not just milk, but other food adulteration as well? That's a question we will be debating in just a while. But first, after those FDA raids last night in Mumbai found milk being contaminated on a large scale, we now take a closer look at what adulterated milk can actually do to your health. Steve has that report.
If you think this is clean, think again. Branded milk contaminated with dirty water sold in Mumbai could be a health disaster waiting to happen.
You can have viral diseases varying from viruses which cause diarrhea, rotavirus, ecovirus. Hepatitis A and E are the food and waterborne viruses. Then you can have viral infections, bacterial infections again which cause diarrhea, the dysenteries which are there.
Water in milk is an old trick, but modern chemistry has invented fresh horrors. Mixing fertilizer, liquid soap, sugar, vegetable oil and water gives you synthetic milk. It looks exactly like the real thing. And mixing the two increases volume without anyone knowing, but with adverse effects on health.
Children will have stunted growth because it does not allow a certain protein or amino acid being absorbed. It has a potentially carcinogenic effect, therefore pregnant women should not be taking it. It can also cause problems where extra amount of sodium through the caustic soda may cause people with high BP and heart failure problem. Extra load of urea may cause kidney problems.
Minute amount of synthetic milk when added to packaged milk help preserve it longer. It is when this amount goes up dramatically that your worries start. Also, the next time you visit your local sweet shops like these, just be very careful because synthetic milk is really cheap and experts claim that these products, though they look really delicious, might also be tainted. With Prerna Uppal in New Delhi, this is Vibha Sachdev.
All right, an undoubtedly scary proposition that, but as we slip into our first break here on India 360, some reactions that have been posted on our website, ibnlive.com. Welcome back. You are with India 360 and the issue we're debating here is, are we doing enough to check food adulteration? And here in my studio is a leading consumer activist, Mr.Bijon Mishra. Mr. Mishra, the sense that I get is that there's a general apathy among the people here. We do have laws in place. There is an existing law. There's a food safety standard, Bill 2005, that's still in the offing that says it's going to be a single reference point to check food adulteration. Do you think these have teeth?
Well, the new law, the way we have framed it, it is much better than what is existing today. You know, today's law, which is still existing because the new law has not come into force. I mean, it has been passed by the parliament, it has been gazetted, but we still don't have a food authority in place, which is an urgent need. And the law is good in the sense that now at least, you know, people who are offenders and who cause such huge damage to your health would have to pay compensation for those damages. But again, the issue comes is how do you quantify that damage and how do you recover that damage to pay to the consumer? And we have been seeing under the provisions of the Consumer Protection Act, we have been able to give certain damages to the complainants, but we are able to do it in a prompt manner, and people are still suffering a lot, you know, and they're really carrying a lot of burden of disease due to such adulterations.
Right.
And what we are only wanting is that till you don't give a very strong kind of a message to these offenders, until the industry doesn't take the onus and starts behaving in a responsible manner, and the consumers don't start funding quality, I don't think we can see any change immediate.
Right, perhaps that is the way ahead. Mr. Yedurkar, just a quick question to you. It's not got anything to do with food adulteration per se, but there was a theory that was floating around that perhaps there are many corporates who want to get into the milk industry here, and the cooperatives really have a stranglehold over the milk industry, and this could perhaps be some sort of a sabotage. Is that a theory that you would even agree with, sir?
No, cooperative industry is actually helping the farmers, economically helping the farmers.
The corporates, so, my question is that the corporates who want to get into the milk industry, sir, do you think this is happening because of competition, or do you really think that there is adulteration? Would you agree with it?
No, the corporates are entering into the milk business because they may find it lucrative, but we don't know what is the reason why they are coming to milk industry, because in Maharashtra, cooperatives and the government, RA and Mahananda are doing very well. They are serving the consumers. But there may be another ideas of the corporate sector. Even MNCs have entered into milk industry previously, and they were failures. So the only successful and the consumers are with the co-op and government milk.
All right.
There are few.
All right, Mr. Yedurkar, just a quick comment from you, Mr. Mishra, before we close here. Do you think civic activism is the way ahead here as well?
Absolutely. You know, what we always look at is that till the citizens don't wake up and there's not a fair competition brought in the marketplace where consumers start getting informed choice. You know, when I say informed, means I should be able to segregate between a contaminated milk and a really good, wholesome, healthy, nutritious milk.
All right. All right, so that perhaps is the right note to end this debate on. Thanks very much, Mr. Mishra, Dr. Kokane, Mr. Yadurkar, for joining us here on this discussion. Civic activism, as Mr. Mishra says, perhaps is the way ahead. A quick break here on India 360. When we return, planning a wedding is a huge headache, as many families would vouch. But meet this from Delhi who's been arranging mass weddings for the last 5 years.